Oh, wow. Thomas just waited too long. Hey, we got about a minute to go in the game. I had to come on early because I would have gotten kicked off if I didn't. So, hey, this is Guy the Wild Blues fan. I'm joined by Lance to Scott from the Drop. Wendy should be along. Marco might be along. Ashley might be along. What a game so far, man. The Blues are playing the way we thought they would play. Kemper's playing good.
Yeah, I thought both goalies are playing pretty well in this first period. And you can definitely tell, unlike what everybody thinks the Blues should do, the Blues are not going out of their way to hit the Avalanche. They're not doing it. And I don't know how many times, Guy, you and I can say it, that's not the way you deal with a fast team. Yes, you slow them down. You stick with them. You skate with them the best you can. If you can get entwined in their body and move them off the puck, great. But you do not go out of your way to hit this Avalanche team. And I thought that the Blues.
Oh, that should have been a penalty.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
On McCarr, that should have been a penalty. He purposely knocked the goal off. All right, he purposely knocked it off. That should have been a penalty. I mean, I can't believe there's no penalties called yet.
That's amazing to me.
Yeah, it is amazing when you get guys. You look at the guys that call penalty. You get the refs that are supposed to call penalties, and they're not calling any penalties. Right now, the one that they didn't call on, I think it was Falk, was not a penalty because they showed his stick had already moved away by the time what it should have been was embellishment.
Yeah, and I just watched that McCarr thing. He fell. That shouldn't have been a penalty. He didn't.
Okay, he fell.
Yeah, and
it looked like to me like he ran into it.
Yeah, he got hurt.
Oh, by the way, I want to welcome Inside the Rink. They reached out to me. I might be writing for somebody here soon.
Oh, great! Good news.
Right about the Blues, maybe make a little money and hopefully get the STL fan report back running again.
Yeah, good news.
Putting some money in my pocket. We'll see. Hopefully they're joining us and they're watching. I invited him today. If you're there, Inside the Rink, I'm Guy the Wild Blues fan, joined by Lance to Scott, one of my co-hosts. I have a couple other co-hosts and guests that come on. Then we've got a pretty decent podcast we've been doing for about 3 years here. We cover blues pretty extensively, and we go with a lot. E's here. Tammy says much better first. I agree, Tammy. And Chris Shockey says I likey, just like Mikey. All right. Got about a minute left in the first period. Again, so far, good game.
It just ended. The first period just ended.
Oh, it did just end? Okay.
Yep.
So I thought there was a little bit left to go in the first.
I'm watching it. Says end of the first, and Colorado skating off, and McCarr's having to skate around a little bit.
So there we go. We'll get everybody joining us here. Numbers are much better this game. Let's check out faceoffs first. That's going to be the big one, right?
Yep.
Oh, wow. I likey the face-off numbers. Are you ready for this, Lance?
Well, I don't know what they are, but I can tell you the Blues did a much better job than they did the other game.
Okay. The Blues won 11. They lost 11.
Hey, I'll take that. I'll take that.
I'll take that. The Blues ended up with a total of 18 shot attempts, 14 on net, 2 missed, and 2 were blocked.
Good.
They had 15 hits, 4 giveaways, which is something that, now they're playing Blues hockey because that's what they do a lot. 2 takeaways, and they blocked 7 shots. Colorado ended up taking 9 shots, had 7 blocked, and 5 missed the net. That's, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 attempts. So 22 to 18, okay. Hits, 17 to 15. Colorado ended up having 17 hits. They also had... Now, they flipped it. They had 2 giveaways and 4 takeaways. Me likey. This is the kind of stuff that I was hoping for. Hey, Windy.
Hey.
What are you thinking of this game so far?
It's a pretty closely contested game.
I mean, these two teams are a lot closer than people ever thought they were. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Need a strong second. Game 1 was brutal. Yeah, I don't think you're going to see the same crap that you've seen in the last game. I think you're going to see a much better second from the Blues. You can tell that they're not gassed. You can tell that they are not gassed at all. Kyle says Bennington looking sharp so far. Sammy's here. Hey, Sammy, how you doing, buddy? 55, 91, and 18. Act like they're figure skating. I don't think so. but I'll let you guys answer that because I'm biased. Wendy?
I really didn't even notice them out there, to be quite honest.
Well, I mean, Tarasenko had a really good shot on net, and Thomas just late in that game, he if he gets that pass off, if he can get a saucer pass off, it's 1-0, right? They had a 2-on-1 break, and just he couldn't get the pass off. So that's where I'm at on there. Chris Lambert says satisfactory start in the first. I'll say that much. 2 players are passing the smell test. Benny and ORR. The rest are scared. I disagree
with that.
I completely disagree.
I'm going to tell you right now, with this Colorado team, and I think you, Guy, and Nick will agree, if you go out there and play scared against them, the Blues would not be 0-0 at this time.
Yeah, no. They're playing. I noticed something. I kind of watched this a little bit better. They're playing a different defensive game than what they played in the first game.
Yeah,
right? In the first game, they played overly defensive, and I think by playing overly defensive for an offensive team, you have lapses in your defense. They're not playing overly defensive; they're playing closed defensively. They're keeping somebody around the net. They're keeping defense around the net. They're not technically blocking shots. I think they blocked what? 6 is what I said.
7.
They no, they blocked 5.
You said 7.
Okay, no. Oh, they changed it. They blocked 8.
Okay,
they blocked 8. Okay, but they're good solid blocks. They're not, like bouncing the puck around. And they're getting in on Kemper, right? They're getting in on Kemper. In fact, there was one point Kemper was fighting with his own guy. Right? I noticed that. So they're keeping in on Kemper, and I like that. And I think that's the stuff that's going to really help them out. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Green says Preko finally shooting the puck. Yeah, he had a couple of good, strong shots. Prunovich, how many year contract does he signed? I think he's got another 2 years, I think. 1 or 2. Right? He's still in an entry level, so he's still an RFA. We still got him for a while. Colorado looking better on their end, but the Blues look good on theirs. I think Colorado. I said this in the pregame. Colorado came out in the first game, and they played the best game you could play against the Blues, and almost lost. That was lost on everybody.
That's right? What I don't understand. I keep seeing all these comments, like on your pregame, and on Twitter, that it had to be the Blues' worst game in a long time. And I'm like, and what game did you guys watch? Wendy, you're an outsider. I know the Blues didn't play their perfect game, but was it the worst game you've seen the Blues play?
Maybe in about a month.
Yeah, they're playing a strong game tonight, and they didn't play again. They didn't play as bad as everybody thinks they played. They were forced to play the way they played in the last game, and they're not being forced to play that way this game. Tank needs a skate, not acceptable on the back check play. I didn't see it, but I'll watch a little bit stronger. I love the defense and staying back, ready for the rush. Exactly. But there were a couple of times I thought they could have pinched off and they didn't. We're winning faceoffs. It's evened up. It's 50-50 on faceoff. So that's a lot better than what it was 60 something, 65-35 or whatever the number was. Tank looked bad. Parayko had a couple of brain farts too. I did see a couple brain farts on Parayko. I will say that. Blues got to have a better second tonight, like how we are looking so far. Benner's solid as well. Yeah, he has played good. Horseman, right in the chest, except the last one tried to hit the opening. No, because Tarasenko had one that he just gloved. I disagree, Jeff. Thomas should have took the shot. Either shoot it or pass it, one of the two, not wait so long. Negative Jeff is back. Jeff Horseman is a good start at knee. At least he's getting confident with his shooting. Yeah. Okay. I'm missing some comments. We'll get them figured out. Figured Shin would carry some anger from the last one to this one. It feels like he has. I agree with the Vladdy thing. He was looking to pass it forward instead of just skating. Maybe. I'm not sure, man. Me and Guy were the only ones in pregame today who said it wasn't as bad as game one. It wasn't as bad in game one. Yeah, I absolutely believe that, how crazy lucky are we that the refs didn't call the Landis? Oh, it wasn't a trip. That wasn't a trip. In fact, Landeskog could have gotten called for embellishment because they showed it. the stick was completely moved. In fact, it was back behind him when he fell down. Right? The trip happened long after the stick was in front of him. That could have been embellishment. That absolutely should have been embellishment. Right?
I don't think it was embellishment. I think he was losing his balance.
Mhm.
And that's what it looked. It looked like to me. Landeskog, he knew that that he was close behind him, and tried to step in. And if you watch it in real time, he starts to skate pretty fast, and it looks like he starts to lose his upper body balance and falls. I might be off, but that's what it looked like to me. But I'm going to tell you what, if it was a call against the Blues on that, I guess you could say it was embellishment because he really fell down.
Well, here's my thing with Landeskog is, he has a history of that. Landeskog, I think even Wendy said it. Landeskog's kind of a dirty player.
He has a dirty player. He doesn't have a history of embellishment.
Yeah.
Right. Well, part of being a dirty player is embellishment. So
no, not really. If he's only going out and laying cheap shots on other players, that's not embellishment. That's just.
I'm with Wendy on this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've seen him embellish before.
He's not Sidney Crosby, who is the definition of an embellisher.
You also forgot Crybaby, Wendy. You forgot.
Yes, I could have said that, but I just went with his name.
Well, here's in slow mo. His skate was tweaked from the stick, and he tried playing the part for a roll. Yeah, for a call. I got that. Just found the Blues game. I spent an hour trying to find the Hawks playoff game.
Oh my!
Oh, I'm sorry, Wendy. Don't get mad at Bob. Lance is right. He got forward on his toes and he was going down. Yeah, that's what I again, that's just how I seen it. No, it was a much better period. We said this for a while now. These teams are much closer matched up than everybody thinks. Yes. And these games are going to be 1-goal games. I think they're all going to be 1-goal games. I think they're going to be tight games. And it can go either way. This could be the 1969 Stanley Cup Finals. Right? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Lance might.
You guys got swept.
Huh?
I just know you guys got swept. So you're saying St. Louis is getting swept?
1969. Who won the Conn Smythe?
That was Glenn Hall.
Glenn Hall, right? For the Blues, right? They were all 1-goal games. The Blues actually went 4-4 in the first 2 rounds, and I think 2 of the games went to overtime. Right? They were even though they swept them, the teams were very evenly matched. And it was Hall's play, that had a lot to do with it. The teams were a lot more evenly matched than everyone gave them credit for, even though they were swept.
I thought you were asking the Blues in the Stanley Cup Finals would be against the same team they were in this year, and that team's not even in the running.
No. I'm talking about the style of play.
All right.
Style of play.
Here's a more recent playoff series that was a 1-goal series each game until game 6 of it. 2015 Cup Final.
Oh, well, you would bring that up.
Yeah.
It was a 1-goal game each game except for game 6, which was a 2-0 final.
Right. Who was that against? I don't remember.
Tampa Bay.
That Boston? Say again?
Tampa Bay.
Okay. Jeff Horseman says we played a very good period. I agree. Just keep someone on top of Kemper. We'll get one. We even got a couple cycles going. Yeah, we did. I saw some good cycles in that period. We had more cycles in that period than we had the whole first game. Optimistic Jeff showed up for a beer. Optimistic Jeff showed up for a beer. Oh my goodness. At least we agree on something. Wendy and Landeskog is a huge tool.
But wasn't
I love these guys.
Last off season though.
Say again?
Weren't St. Louis fans really wanting him last off season?
Yeah, unfortunately they were. They're the a lot of the bandwagoners were. So I will admit that. Nathan says, I love the rhythm of the period. Yeah, I thought it was a good rhythm too. For overall, I mean, I didn't watch it and go, oh my God, the Blues are doing something bad, or this is wrong, or, it was like the mistakes that were made weren't like, oh my God, why are you making that mistake? They were okay. They were mistakes in the game. They were normal mistakes. They were natural. Those are the things I like. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, on Facebook, don't forget to put that thumbs in the air, just like my buddies Sammy Helms and Brad Pond did. Let us know that you care if you do it on YouTube or Twitter. We also appreciate that. So again, thank you for watching the Blue Note Fan Report. Okay, second period. What are your expectations, starting with Lance?
I think you're going to see Colorado come out and try to do what they did in the second period in the last game and really outplay the Blues. One thing I'll say, the Blues look like they're a little more conditioned to that light, through that thin air. They don't look as gassed, which is going to bode well for us for the third period. I think if the Blues can hold off that push by the Avalanche in the second, they'll be doing pretty good heading out of the second.
And Wendy?
I'm going to say it's going to be a lot of the same that we saw in the first period. I can see the Avalanche try and come out where they are trying to wear down St. Louis by the energy level, by the fact that St. Louis is still probably not fully adjusted to the altitude, but I'm predicting a lot of the same from the first period.
Okay, and Ashley, what do you think?
I think that it's going to be somewhere in between what Lance and Nick said. I think that we are going to see a lot of what we did see in the first. I do think Colorado will come out and try to push it, but I don't think that they're going to have the result they're hoping for.
I actually think that you're going to see a lot of what we're already seeing, and I don't think you're going to get a goal. I think this is going to be one of them 1-0 games where it's a late goal, or something like what happened in the first game between Tampa Bay and Florida, where you get that late mistake that just comes off. I really do like what's going on in this game. And again, this is another game where it looks like Colorado is playing the Blues the best way you can play the Blues, yet they're not getting goals. They're not winning. And that bodes well for the Blues. And I'm going to keep saying that until it's not true. And I still think it's true. Oh, a new guy, Danny Johnson. Welcome to the store. Who will score the first goal tonight? Good question. I'll go with Lance.
I'm gonna go with the Blues. Is he asking the team or the player?
I think he's asking the player.
Kyrou.
Wendy?
I'm going to go with Sam Girard on Colorado.
And Ashley?
I mean, if you guys would expect me to say anyone other than Perron, you're crazy, because I'm always going to go for Perron.
Yeah. I'm going to go off the rails a little bit, and I think it's going to be a defenseman. I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Letty. I think Letty's had a couple of real good looks, and I think that Letty might surprise somebody. I think that they're not looking at Letty more say than they have. And so I think Letty might be able to get something.
Fair enough.
So, Danny wanted both teams and players, and I think we covered that. It depends what's happening with Makar. Also, he hit between the plastic on his shin pads. I don't think Makar will be out that long. I'm pretty sure he'll be back after the second.
Mac will be back.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like the Avalanche are pushing the Blues around. I don't. I think their speed is making it look that way. I'm going to say Torpachenko, someone like the Avalanche aren't looking at scoring. And that's Torpachenko was using that body. Mm-hmm. He was using that body, and he was getting thrown around a little bit, but at the same time he was pushing it back. So I really appreciate that. Danny Johnson, Sammy Helms, Brad Pond, thank you for throwing that thumb in the air. We absolutely appreciate when you like this show. Thank you so much. Where else we at? I'm completely lost. As we go into the second, anything that you don't like that you've seen so far? I'll start with Wendy.
I really didn't see much that I didn't like. Yes, there could have been maybe a penalty or two called, but otherwise, nothing I really didn't like not seeing. It's not like it was that Flames Oilers game last night.
You mean the game where they had no goalies?
The game that thought both teams went back to the 80s.
Yeah. Ashley?
I really didn't have anything that I could complain about that period. Nothing
Right,
I didn't like.
Lance?
Zero, zilch. There's nothing I can complain about.
Well, see, I'm going to be the one that goes off. I saw some weak passes in the neutral zone that could have gone the other way real fast, but the Blues were kind of like ready for them. I just looked at that again, Lance. I keep thinking like he.
No,
it
he
almost
lost.
looks like he purposely runs into the.
No, he didn't. He fell. You can watch him right before he starts his balance starts
Well,
to
looks
go
like
off.
the sorry to cut you off. Game's back on. We'll see you guys at the second intermission. Aloha.